Yo, what's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the latest and juiciest Dallas Cowboys news. Now, today we've got something absolutely crazy to talk about. So, if you're a fan of America's team, you might want to grab your seat because things are getting wild in Dallas. We're talking about none other than the face of the Cowboys franchise, Dak Prescott. Yes, you heard that right. Dak Prescott could be on his way out of Dallas. It's a bold statement, and it has fans everywhere losing their minds. The question on everyone's lips: could the Dallas Cowboys be trading away their $151 million quarterback, the man they've built their offense around? I know, it sounds insane, but rumors have been swirling, and when it comes to the NFL, anything is possible. So, stick around because we've got some big news that's shaking up the entire Cowboys fan base and might just change the future of the team. Alright, before we get into the thick of it, let's talk about Dak Prescott for a second. He's been the face of the Cowboys offense for nearly a decade. The Cowboys made him their franchise quarterback, and he's been one of the highest paid players in the NFL after signing that massive 4-year, $151 million contract. That's a huge commitment, but for a long time, fans believed Dak was worth every penny. He's put up some impressive stats, no doubt about it. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards in multiple seasons, had some solid playoff appearances, and led the Cowboys to numerous division titles. For years, Dak has been the leader of the team, and his leadership in the locker room is undeniable. He's the face of the franchise, the guy who steps up in crunch time, and the one fans rely on to carry them through the toughest games. But recently, there have been whispers and concerns about his performance, especially when it matters most. Let's be real here. Dak has had his ups and downs. There have been some truly magical moments: his huge comeback win over Atlanta in 2020, his ability to bounce back from that brutal injury in 2020, and the way he's connected with wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. But then, there have been the playoff losses. As we all know, Dallas has struggled to get past the first round of the playoffs in recent years, and it's beginning to feel like there's something missing in Dak's game when the pressure is on. The loss to the 49ers this past season, especially, had fans scratching their heads. The offense just couldn't seem to get things going, and a lot of people started asking the tough questions. Is Dak Prescott the guy who can lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl? Can he perform under pressure, or is he just another talented QB who can't get the job done when it matters most? Now, we're at a crossroads, and the future of the franchise may depend on the answer to those questions. That brings us to the trade rumors. What started as a few whispers has now turned into full-blown speculation. Could Dak Prescott actually be traded? Is the Cowboys front office looking to move on from their franchise QB and make a bold, controversial move? It's wild, but it's definitely something worth talking about. And while we can't say for sure what's going on behind closed doors, there are a few things that might point to a potential Dak trade. First, let's talk about the financials. As we know, Dak's $151 million contract eats up a ton of cap space, around $40 million per year. That's a big chunk of change, and when you're trying to build a balanced, well-rounded team, having that much money tied up in one player can become a burden. The salary cap is a tricky thing in the NFL, and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office might be looking at other ways to allocate that money, especially with some glaring holes to fill on defense and in other key positions. Could the Cowboys be thinking it's time to move on from Dak, free up that cap space, and pursue a new direction? Then, there's the whole playoff situation. Despite Dak's individual success, the Cowboys have not been able to break through in the postseason. The NFC Championship eluded them this year yet again, and after so many years of promising seasons that ultimately ended in disappointing losses, there's a sense that maybe the Cowboys need a change in the quarterback position to break through that barrier. The problem is, making a change at quarterback isn't as simple as it sounds. Dak has been with the team for so long, and he's such a crucial part of the Cowboys' identity that any potential trade would have massive ramifications. The question now is whether or not Jerry Jones is willing to make that move. Jerry's known for his bold decisions, and if he feels like the Cowboys can't get over the hump with Dak, he might pull the trigger on a trade to bring in a new face to lead the team. But wait, it gets even crazier. There's talk of the Cowboys actually looking at Kyler Murray as a potential replacement for Dak Prescott. That's right, Kyler Murray, the dynamic, dual-threat quarterback from the Arizona Cardinals, could be the Cowboys' new face of the franchise. Now, let's just pause and think about that for a second. Kyler is a completely different type of player than Dak. While Dak is known for his strong arm and leadership, Kyler brings a different skill set to the table. He's a mobile quarterback with the ability to extend plays with his legs, make things happen outside the pocket, and create big plays in the open field. With the right offensive scheme, he could be a game changer for the Cowboys. And let's not forget about his ability to make quick decisions under pressure, something that Dak has sometimes struggled with in high-stakes moments. Now, I know what you're thinking: how realistic is this trade? Could Jerry Jones really pull off a deal that sends Dak Prescott packing in exchange for Kyler Murray? Well, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem. Kyler's future in Arizona has been a topic of discussion for some time, and the Cardinals have their own set of challenges. There's been a lot of talk about a potential rebuild in Arizona, and the team may be willing to part ways with Murray to get a fresh start. If that were to happen, the Cowboys could be in a position to make a move for a quarterback who brings a completely different dynamic to the team. And just imagine this Kyler Murray in a Cowboys uniform, running the offense with weapons like CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and Tony Pollard at his disposal. That could be one heck of a combination, and it would definitely shake up the NFC East. But let's not forget about the other side of this: what happens if Dak stays? If the Cowboys decide to stick with Dak, that doesn't mean they're out of options. They could continue to build around him, add more pieces to the offense, and try to get over that playoff hump. But the reality is, Dak's future with the team is now in question. If the Cowboys decide to go a different route, it could be the beginning of a brand new era for Dallas. The decision they make this offseason could have massive implications for the team's future, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride watching it all unfold. Cowboys fans are understandably divided over this situation. Some fans are staunch supporters of Dak, and they believe that he's the guy who can lead the team to a Super Bowl. They point to his leadership, his resilience, and his ability to put up big numbers year after year. On the other hand, there are fans who feel like it's time for a change. They see Dak's inconsistency in the big moments as a major roadblock to the team's success, and they believe that a fresh start at quarterback could be the key to finally breaking through and winning that elusive Super Bowl. The tension is real, and no matter which side you're on, it's clear that something big is about to happen in Dallas. So, what's the final word here? Is Dak Prescott really on his way out of Dallas? Or will the Cowboys stick with him and continue to build around him as their franchise quarterback? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure: this offseason is going to be one for the history books. As always, we want to know what you think. Are you on Team Dak, or do you think it's time for a change? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more breaking news and updates. Until next time, Cowboys Nation, stay tuned, and as always, go Cowboys!